Wow, just wow. At this point, I've probably blown your minds multiple times. You're probably also so confused you don't even know where you are. Well, you do know where you are. You're at school on a Saturday for some reason. And now you decided that impromptu we were going to learn to code, and we built our first React app. Now, this app is not done yet, but we are getting a lot closer. Notice how before we had all these other things going on, and now we can select from the coffee or bakery, and we can get a bakery item, cool, or we can get a coffee item, cool, and it changes, and React is aware of everything, and so it knows what's up. Now, there's one more thing we need to do. What do you think that is? Yep, we need to let the user determine how many things they want to buy. So I'm actually going to let you do this. I want you to add one more drop-down menu. I know we're using a lot of drop-down menus. You could put just a regular old input. You could. And oh, honestly, we still have the input value there. You see that? Maybe, you know what? Go for it. If you want to make it just an input and use the input value in that handle input change event listener, did I delete that? Oh no, I just put it right there. If you want to do that, that's okay with me. I just want you to have a way for the user to select how many things they want to purchase. Now, if you're doing it the way I'm telling you, just make a drop-down menu going from 1 to 10, corresponding to the number of items the user would like to purchase. You'll probably need to make an event. Well, you could just use this one. Again, you could figure it out. I'll just let you do it. You tell me how you want to do it, and then I'll have someone dictate it to me in a second. Cool? Okay, so I got overruled, and everyone decided to use the stuff that was already there, which, again, fine, do things your way. Sometimes, I mean, I guess that's what I get for working with kids. They just refuse to listen. You'll do things my way only until you don't feel like it anymore, and then you'll do whatever you want. And that, you know what? I'm okay with that. So what did you call this one? What did you call this, the render item whatever thing? What'd you call it? Render menu item amount select? Oh my God, that is a name right there. Render menu item amount select. Cool. And so we have to render it somewhere, right? Oh, no, you know what? It's actually not a select, right? It's an input. So I'm just going to call this input. Render menu item amount input. Whew, that is nuts. And then we're going to do it at the very bottom here. We're just going to say, hey, render menu item amount input equals a method where we render. Let's just render an input, right? That's all we need. Because the way I was going to do it is I was going to have a select where each option had a value equal to a number 1 through 10. But the way you do it, I think that's really cool. I should really like it. So first, let's pull out what is the state that's holding it. Input value. Should we change it to something else? You want to change it to menu item amount value? Let's put it at the end too, just because increasing order of insaneness. Yeah, honestly, let me tell you though, if you make your variables, if you give them specific names, it does become a lot easier to go back to this later and figure out what the heck you were talking about. And we don't even need an empty string. Let's go with the number 1. Render menu item amount value 1. Let's start with 1 because that's how many they should order at first, right? And then the handle input change, let's change that name to handle item amount change. And whenever you set the state, you should set it to, let's do the same thing here. Let's destructure the event and just pull out the target. And then we don't need to use the event word there. We can say target.value. Cool? Does that work for you guys? And so then down here, we can just actually render an input, right? And that input is going to have some things. It's going to have a value equal to what we called it up here. What do we call it again? Menu item amount value. Cool. So that's the value. And oh, sorry, this.state. You're correct. I apologize. See, look at you. You already got this. Do I even need to do this? Do you want to give this video lesson? No? Okay, perfect. Value equals this.state.menu item amount value. And what's the next thing we need to do? Look at the thing up here. Yep, the onChange handler. What do we call the onChange handler again? Handle, item, amount, change. Cool. So we say on change is equal to this dot handle item amount change. Whew. Oh my. Oh yeah, you're right. I need to return it. I need to return this right here. And that should be great. I think everything should work. Let's see. So I'm going to save this. I'm going to come down here. I'm going to look at this guy. I have 3 different menu items being rendered. Now you'll notice, by the way, that this is automatically going to render itself, and we don't actually want that. Because if you come right here, it's automatically rendered with a 1, and everyone's like, what is that 1 doing there? So let's actually go in here and say the const, I don't know, if, oh yeah, how about this? If this dot state dot, what do we call it again? Menu item amount value is equal to, oh no, actually we don't want that. We want to see if the menu item value is still none, then display nothing. So we'll say this dot state dot menu item value is equal to none. Then what do we do? What did we do before to make it display nothing? Yep, we return null. And remember, null is just a value that indicates that there's nothing that should be there. So if the user hasn't selected anything yet, return null. And if we do that now, what do we see? Okay, great. This looks good. Let's check it out. The main. All of this stuff, these names are so long, but they work. Select menu, coffee, great. Select item, espresso, great. How many should we order? 5, 4, 6, 8. Wow. Pretty cool, right? That's just great. Everything seems to work. And all we need to do now is need to be able to click order and order everything. Whew. Yeah, that's a lot. So I think, honestly, at this point, we're almost done. This is basically, I think we have like maybe 1 or 2 more videos left, and we have built our whole coffee shop menu, our whole app. Amazing, right? So let's go ahead and just look at how big our component is. From line 57 down to line 160. So it's more than 100 lines. I'm actually including this one here. Oh, we could have just used this, huh? Whatever, it doesn't matter. So maybe not 152. So almost, is it? Almost exactly 100 lines of code to get this whole thing working. And that should just tell you that we're writing some stuff here. So in the next one, let's wire up our input, our submit button, and call it an app.